According to a study by Digital Music News, out of 7.5 million artists online selling their music, only 0.0038 people will actually make it to a professional level. That's why it's so important to give yourself every possible advantage. So in this video, I'm giving you 21 practical lessons that I've learned from working with hundreds of producers, stuff that's helped them break through, finish music consistently, and actually get somewhere. We're talking mindset, strategy, workflow, and technical tips. So if you are serious about beating those odds, let's get straight into it. Point number one, your problem isn't your mix, it's your sound selection. Nearly every producer that I work with says the same thing: I need help with mixing. But what they don't realize is if you pick the correct sounds from the start, there's barely anything to mix at the end. The best mixes I hear usually have the least amount of processing on. Great sound selection makes everything easier. It's like cheating, and that's the point. Don't try to fix bad mixes with fancy plugins. Make better choices at the beginning. Spend time building your sound library and not downloading fancy new plugins. Oh, and by the way, before we do move on, I actually just wrote an email about this in my 20 days of free coaching. You can find the link in the description below. So point number two, use samples and loops because the professionals do. It's how you use those samples and loops that matters. There's this idea out there that using loops makes you less of a producer. It doesn't. The professionals use loops all the time, they just know how to use them. They chop, layer, pitch, rearrange. They make it their own. You don't get points for making everything from scratch. You get points for making music that sounds good. So if a loop helps you get there faster, use it. Just make sure that you do something interesting with it. Point number three, nobody finds vocals easily. Keep looking. Finding the right vocal isn't quick or easy. The pros spend hours searching for them. Most producers give up after 10 minutes searching through Splice and say, there's nothing good on here. But the truth is, great vocals for your track are buried, not just handed to you. The right one is out there, you just have to out-search everyone else that's trying to find them. Treat vocal hunting like trying to find new music on Beatport for your sets. It's time-consuming, frustrating, but it's totally worth it when you find the one that just clicks. Number four, if it feels like everyone's using the same samples, you're not being experimental enough. It's so easy to blame the tools, to say that Splice is overused, or everyone's track sounds the same. But the truth is, most of you are using samples as is, straight out of the pack. You don't chop, stretch, resample, pitch, reverse, layer. You're not being experimental enough. The best producers take standard samples and flip them into something unrecognizable. The sample likely isn't the problem, your creativity is. Point number five, it's beautiful having a passion. Think about your friends, your family. How many of them out there have something that they're truly passionate about? Most people spend their evenings scrolling, waiting for something to pop up that excites them. But you've already found that thing. Don't take that for granted. If you're obsessed with music, protect that feeling at all costs. When things aren't going well and you're feeling uninspired, remind yourself, how lucky am I to even have a goal that I care about? Because not many people do, and that puts you in a rare group. Point number six, you need to think, I don't give a shit how long this takes. Most producers fall off because they expect results too soon. They think they're failing if they're not signed to a label in the first year, or if the tracks still don't sound pro after 18 months. But the second you stop chasing shortcuts and fully accept the fact that this might take years, you'll stop feeling behind, you'll stop comparing, and you'll start to build some real momentum. Progress in music is invisible at first, but it compounds over time. The ones who win are the ones that just don't quit. Point number seven, the ones who make it are more patient and obsessed than most. It's rarely about talent in this game. It's about who sticks around the longest. The producers who make it aren't always the most gifted. They're the ones that kept showing up when others got bored, discouraged, or distracted. They didn't wait for motivation. They built habits. They didn't give up when progress felt slow. They just kept going. And the DJs you buy tickets to see on the weekend, most of them were just the ones that didn't stop. Point number eight, your taste will always outpace your skill, and that's a good thing. You'll always feel like your music isn't good enough, not because you're bad, but because your standards are evolving. Every time you improve, the goalpost shifts. What felt like progress last year now feels basic, and that's not failure, it's growth. Feeling frustrated with your music just means that you've leveled up your ears. It's proof that your taste is leading the way, and that's exactly how it should be. Point number nine, don't obsess over originality, focus on identity. You don't need to reinvent the wheel, you just need to make music that feels like you. Repetition is how identity is formed. So if your tracks all sound a bit similar, good. That's how your original sound develops. Point number 10, show your work, even if it's not polished. A while back, many of you know I used to run a private music community called Kimber's Academy. I remember I was in a private chat with a few of the members and they kept laughing at this one guy that was posting consistently on Instagram and social media, and his tracks were, well, rough. But the guy didn't stop. He kept showing up, he kept posting, sharing his progress and putting his music out there even if it wasn't perfect. And in doing that, he built an audience. Fast forward to today, that same guy is touring the world as a DJ, living the dream that all of them members that were laughing wanted. Because people don't just connect with perfect music, they connect with the person behind it. And the people that win are the people that aren't afraid to be seen as a work in progress. Point number 11, learning with structure beats random tutorials every single time. Most producers get stuck in a cycle. Watch a tutorial, feel inspired, open Ableton, and then get lost. The truth is, random tips don't fix a broken process. You can watch hundreds of tutorials, you've probably done that, and still not know what to do next. Real progress comes when you follow a clear structure, something that guides you start to finish step by step. That's when things start to click. It's exactly why I built my mentorship instead of posting random tutorials, to give producers a proven workflow that cuts out the guesswork and actually gets results. As always, link in the description if you're interested in working with me one-on-one. So if you've been learning for years but still feel stuck, it's probably not your skill level, it's likely your lack of structure. Number 12, you're learning with a scattergun approach. Most producers try to learn everything at once. Mixing, sound design, theory, arrangement, but with no real system for how it all fits together. It's random, it's overwhelming, and it's probably why you feel stuck. The truth is, none of that matters if you don't have a repeatable workflow that takes you from idea to finished track. So build that first, then use deeper learning and tutorials to kind of sharpen each part of the process. Tutorials are just tools. Use them only when they're solving a specific problem in your workflow, not as a replacement for a system. That's how you grow in the correct order without burning out or wasting time. Point number 13, strike the balance between learning and doing. It's easy to fall into the trap of always learning but never creating. You tell yourself you're being productive, but in reality you're just preparing endlessly and never actually pulling the trigger. The only way to actually improve is to apply what you're learning over and over and over again. So here's a simple rule. For every 1 hour that you spend learning, spend 2 hours actually making music. That's how knowledge sticks, and that's how tracks actually get made. Point number 14, compare back to old projects because that's where motivation lies. Progress in music is sneaky. You won't hear it from track to track, but go back 6 months or a year and it's undeniable. Suddenly, the stuff that you used to think was decent sounds empty. Your drums hit harder now, your ideas are clearer, and your taste has evolved. That realization, it's motivating as hell. It reminds you that this is all working, even when it doesn't feel like it in the moment. So if you're feeling like you're stuck, don't look forward to where you want to be. Look back at past projects. Point number 15, separate your sessions. Don't go sample searching mid-idea. One of the fastest ways to kill momentum is to go sample searching in the middle of a creative session. You interrupt your flow, overload yourself with options, and usually lose the spark that you had. Instead, have separate sessions for sound preparation. Search on things like LoopCloud or Splice. Build your library and organize your favorites. Then, when it's time to create, you're not always starting from scratch. You're pulling from a toolbox that you've already built. Point number 16, make music everywhere and anywhere, not just at your desk. If you're waiting for that perfect 5-hour studio block on the weekend to make music, you're limiting your output. Some of the best ideas come from those scrappy little moments. 30 minutes before dinner, a quick loop on the train, or even making music on your laptop speakers in bed. Don't underestimate what can happen in short bursts. A finished track often starts in the least professional setting. Great music doesn't care when or where it was made. It just needs you to show up. 17. Keep your projects organized. It saves hours later. Poor project organization will slow you down more than you realize. Mixing samples, unlabeled channels, 15 versions of the same project, it all adds up. A clean session helps you move faster, make better decisions, and actually enjoy the process. Future you will thank you when you open an old project and everything just makes sense. Point number 18. Use old projects for the best parts and recycle your old ideas. The 8-bar loop you gave up on last year, it might have been the perfect baseline for the track you're working on right now. Most producers abandon projects without ever revisiting them, but buried in them sessions are melodies, grooves, textures that are all worth saving. Your best ideas don't always land the first time. Sometimes they just need a new context. So treat your old projects like a toolbox and not like a graveyard. 19. Nobody hears your mix in solo. I've spent countless hours tweaking sounds in solo, EQing, saturating, compressing, only to drop it back into the full mix and unsolo it, and it sounds shit. Unless it's absolutely necessary, make your mixing decisions with the full track playing. Solo is fine for quick checks, but it's not where you make decisions on what's working. The real test is how it fits with everything else in context, because I'll say the point again, no one listens to your track in solo. 20. Zooming in too far ruins your perspective. Step back. Endlessly looping an 8-bar section, obsessing over micro edits, nitpicking the curve of an EQ. It's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Sometimes the problem isn't the mix, it's that you're stuck in the weeds. Pull back, listen to the track from start to finish, walk away and then come back with fresh ears. Because progress doesn't come from perfection. It comes from finishing, stepping back, and then learning what to improve next time. 21. Plugins don't make you better, they're just a tool. Buying an expensive plugin won't fix weak ideas or a broken workflow. Plugins are just tools. They're only as good as the person that's using them. Focus on improving your ears, your decision making, and your sound selection first, because a great producer can make an amazing track using only stock plugins, and a bad producer can absolutely ruin that same track with expensive ones. It's never about the tool, it's about how you use it. So I've given you a lot of mindset shifts here, but if you'd like to see some of my workflow tips put into action, watch this video here next.